every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Roy
Is anybody out
Show
there?
is the spot to be, baby.
Hey, tune in.
It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the homie Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. The Roy Anthony Show. And it's featuring the co-host Big Hank and Cynthia. It's the hottest show, homie, on the West Coast. Everybody tune in, you dig it? It's funny as hell, my dude. It's when we can kick every Tuesday. Everything is going down. Every Thursday. They about to do the most. It ain't a confrontation, it's a conversation, homie. Yo, on the weekends, Roy Anthony every Show. Tuesday. It's during the week, homie. The Roy every Thursday. Show. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony Show. Come on and get a tap in before we gotta tap in. What you listening to? The Roy Anthony every Show. Tuesday. Come on and kick it with us. The Roy Anthony Show. Every Thursday. It's going down, homeboy. The Roy Anthony Show. Tap in. Big Hank. We getting it.
People always ask me, Warren, what do you think about homosexuality? I don't think about it. Okay. What people do in their household is them. I'm not homophobic. You know, I mean, I talk to people, gay and shit. Not when they do it in the evening time. Boy, would you like to come to dinner? No, thank you. What I can't understand is why there is so much emphasis on gay rights. That's the only thing that I don't understand is the emphasis. You know, gays are telling me it's just like the civil rights movement. I said, that's some bullshit. I ain't never seen a gay person get sprayed with a water hose. Or tell all these straight people come in the front, you gay motherfucker gotta go to the back. Never seen a gay man get beat by the police, you gay motherfucker. For real. But as a heterosexual, I feel like I need to march for rights because the rights they're asking for, I don't even have them motherfuckers. I feel like every heterosexual in here, we need to start marching ourselves. For real. I'm a heterosexual. I got rights. I hit the opposite. Morning, noon, and night. Let's keep it 100.
What it do, what it do, what it do. Welcome to the Roy Anthony Show podcast, along with my co-stars that be popping in as Big Hank Norman, Miss Cynthia Joy Towner. Sometimes we have a good special guest, my man Carl Loomis be popping in, Miss Leonie Wade, we call her Beauty Franchise. And we represent the WO Entertainment platform, which was a platform that was created by military veterans of the United States military, and our head producer, Richard King, aka Redneck Pimp, along with the co-creator Goose, our social producers, Blue Phoenix, Ethan Daly. Then we have our good neighbors that keeps up with us. We friend with this. That's the BB Nation, which is the Backwood Veterans based out of Oregon. Then we had the Long Beach All-Stars based out of Southern California, Long Beach, Compton, together. Then we have our own WO Entertainment family based from the U.S. and other countries, our own personal family, friends, associates, and those who don't like us. We call them player haters. I just want to inform everybody on the WO platform will be shutting Okay, I don't know what had happened. Our internet, every time we speak in something righteous and stuff, we always getting these problems to pop up out the blue. Now all of a sudden my camera wasn't working and the internet, and it came back up that quickly. But today's show is based upon appreciation. Tuesday we was talking about what another man's rags is another man's riches. But one of the things though, and I came up on this conversation. Wait a minute, one of our co-stars is in the house. What's up with you, Carl Loomis?
What's up?
Man, you got how you doing, bro?
I'm hanging in there, man. Went to court yesterday.
And how did it come out, bro?
So, because my attorney that I was speaking to hadn't had any time for discovery or anything to that
Yeah.
nature of the court case, we ended up pushing it back for another month. So now he's got the opportunity to learn about the case and learn about what the charges are and all this other hoo-ha. Seemed like a pretty good dude. He wasn't like fresh out of the Oregon Bar School. He was
Mhm.
30 years as a lawyer, defense attorney, and a prosecuting attorney, and he's got a private practice outside of his contract for the state to be public defender. So
Okay.
I felt pretty good about that. He's a pretty solid dude. Other than that,
And it feels like somebody's trying to use you as a cover up or some other malicious stuff because you had never been able to fill out your own doctor paperwork.
yeah, I kind of feel that way to a degree.
Yeah, where's this doctor at though who did this
Well,
paperwork?
he has an investigator that can find the doctor because I personally have done a bunch of footwork and he was kind of impressed. I've got all the paperwork from Safe. I've got all the paperwork from all the payment ledgers that they paid me. I've got all this stuff in order already. And he looked at me and he kind of chuckled. He goes, "Are you sure you need me as a lawyer?"
Yeah, well, at least you showing them that you serious about it because if you was guilty, you'd be trying to hide stuff.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but
And I don't even know what they think they have against me right now. I really don't, because um they paid me from January 21st till 6/21 of 21. They didn't pay me all the way through my birthday in December, like they're claiming that they're doing, like they did. And I would really like to know exactly what it is they have against me.
somebody done falsified papers and it sound like it's pointing at that doctor.
That's what I'm thinking, bro. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that somebody
yeah,
falsified.
and it's gonna come out and stuff like that because it because if you got certain payment, they can track down if you cash a check or you got direct deposit. Where did you cash the check at? You know what I'm saying? There's
Oh
always a
yeah,
trail with that check number. If you
yeah.
ain't got nothing since, if you was, let's say September and you got October, November, December, and you talking about went to your birthday, then you looking at somebody done
Somebody
falsified.
done messed up.
Yeah, and then it's pointed at you, and why they
Yeah,
point at you because you're a leader. Also, you got a lot of attention on you. Who is this guy has this big old thing down here at the beach for a week? You feel me?
yeah,
And stuff. Everybody know Carl Lewis do this. Carl Lewis. No, we have some. You feel me? And
yeah.
so when I was just saying, when you're a leader, and we'll say, well, why did this come up on me? And this and that, but you'll be surprised of the underlying situations cats knows about you. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
You trying to do something corporate to the community and all that. These people know. I got this feeling in my heart that they know that this is a bogus run on you, but it opens up some things too, because then it open up to where you can file some civil lawsuits.
And like my attorney had told me yesterday, he's been in the industry for 30 years.
Mhm.
He's been a lawyer, a defense lawyer, so on and so forth. But he said that he personally has never dealt with a safe case, and usually when they come after you, they've got some pretty probable juice. They've got some juice in the case, that they know some things that I don't know, and they know some things that he don't know, which, I think I'm being picked on, to be honest with you.
Well, they
Uh,
can't find the doctor. They can only find you.
yeah.
You the only
Well,
one.
he has he has an investigator that states that he can find just about anybody and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I told him to go ahead and put foot to ass on that one and get a move on. And I'm supposed to call him in a week, and we're supposed to have a Zoom meeting. I have to send him all these payment ledgers and all this other garbage to basically prove my innocence.
Yeah.
And
Did you have it? Each time you got paid, did it go to your bank account?
I went in and I cashed it in my bank account. So the bank has every check. The
That
bank
you
has
cashed?
every safe check that I've ever cashed, and there's even one that was a double by accident, but they canceled it, and so did the Oregon safe. And I called them to make sure before I even cashed the check, because those safe checks are good up to 2 years. You could wait 2 years and cash one of those checks if you really wanted to.
Okay.
And there was one where I had thrown it through the washing machine and filled out an affidavit to receive that same check, that same payment. And when I received that check and that payment, I ended up going to my bank and asking them, hey, because I found another one. I was like, hey, I found a duplicate. I said, hey, has this check number been cashed? And then I called the safe, covering my own butt. I called safe and I said, hey, can you guys see if this check has been cashed as well? Because they can see it on their end as well. And so I ended up going in and, trying to cash it. And they found out that it was actually a duplicate. And so somebody didn't do their job correctly and canceled that check all the way through. And I ended up paying Oregon Safe back that money right then and there. I was like, hey, look, I've got this money in my pocket. It's in my bank account. Here's a check back to you guys. Take it. I was very safe. I was very thorough. And I went through all the loopholes to get all of this. So I just don't understand it.
Well, it sounds opposite. And, listen to you in the day show is about appreciation. You feel me? One of the things you got to appreciate about yourself that you kept your paper trail up.
I appreciate that stuff. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be glad that you had that. I've been where I need to have something. All of a sudden, when I find it, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I kept this paperwork. You feel me? And so, and I'm gonna tell you something. There's no way though that you're looking at losing your freedom. It's just a pesty situation and stuff. And it sounds like they're trying to get you to pay back more money. That's what it really is. And the thing is, and I'm gonna tell you something. Innocence is all there. It just makes them have to pull out, because once a prosecutor has submitted something, I'm gonna tell you something. There's a guy named, I was gonna bring him up next week, but Tuesday in Missouri, this black guy who had been maintaining his innocence on death row, the prosecutor attorneys started stating that he was innocent, that through their findings, they started to find him innocent, and was going towards the state to let them know. Now, usually the prosecutors is pushing that, no, we got reasonable proof that he did this, he needs to fake. They were saying he's innocent, and the state said still wouldn't give him a stay. They executed him Tuesday night after the prosecuting attorneys told him for the past week that he was innocent from their findings. And they're usually the prosecuting attorneys, like who you dealing with, is one bringing the case to you. When they say you innocent and the state kills you anyway, what that tells you. You feel me? And the man maintained his innocence for over 30 years.
Wow.
Sitting in death row. Kept saying he's innocent. He's innocent. They don't have him at the place. They don't have no DNA of his DNA on the knife and stuff and like that. But yet they still executed him Tuesday night. I said that because I appreciate my life right now.
Yep.
You got to appreciate what you have going on. Sometimes a situation like what you're facing can make us get cloudy of thinking what's got going good for us. Our concentration is on this negative situation I'm facing, and it can cloud us from appreciating every day what you do have and stuff. And if anybody's seen the picture on this day's show, it says appreciate what you have, then to wait for you to appreciate for something that you had. You ever did? I've been through that where I'm like, oh man, I wish I was in the better mind state. I wouldn't have had this happen to me, or I wouldn't have let that happen. Have you ever went through that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
And just sit back and you breathe air. I was trying to bring in y'all TikTok video of you and your son is in the bathroom, you're getting ready for the marriage and stuff like that. You appreciate that moment. It had to.
I
Like I
appreciate
appreciate,
that moment because, you know, Lord knows where I'd be without them. I'll just put it that way. And
yeah,
that brings on so many more appreciations. I appreciate, you know, Kaylin for sticking by my side because it hasn't been easy in the beginning, and
of
the
course.
kids for sticking by my side because it hasn't been easy, and for Kaylin's mom and dad for, you know, allowing us to stay here. And there's just so many appreciations that I could get. I could sit here for the whole show and tell you who I appreciate, bro.
That's what
You
hey,
know?
that's what it's about. You feel me?
Yeah,
You appreciating them. Look, they can always go back and hear you saying this. You
yeah,
know, these shows are recorded. We're on 8 other platforms. You know that, bro,
yeah.
and stuff. And we speak from the heart. Now, I'm a professional comedian. Carl Loomis is a professional organizer. He has a yearly beach event where everybody drives their cars, cars, trucks, jeeps, anything that can drive over beaches and dunes and everything. And I think, to my understanding, you got 500 people showing up out there.
We didn't have as many this year, but we had by the time that the weekend had rolled around, we had close to, I don't know, probably 30 people out there with us this year. The first year that I ever did it, we'd camp out on the sand. We kind of grew out of that, but
Mhm.
we camped out on the sand because we were young, and we had two separate camps, and there was 40 people in each camp. That's 80
Okay.
freaking people that showed up.
Yeah.
And like over the years, it's kind of dwindled, you know, it's kind of gotten down there. But this next year, if Tillamook State Forest is open, we're gonna go to the beach for the first weekend, and then the second weekend we're gonna stay up in the forest, and we're gonna go, ride some trails and stuff like that. I think this year, and we got some other things planned out here in Lapine.
Hmm.
We're gonna do this thing called Wheelers and Coffee. It's at a local coffee house that wants to
Yeah.
bring some more that's into the car scene. They want
Yeah.
to do that. I'm working with a couple of people in the life on that one, and just kind of, slowly getting back into it. But
You're a producer, man. That's a producer. When you come up with an idea, see it from beginning to the end, that's what's considered definition of a producer.
it was
Whether it's
actually the wife that came
entertainment,
up with that one.
huh?
It was actually the wife that came up with
Oh,
that
well,
one.
she's a producer too. That's an executive producer, is well, associate producer. When y'all come up and you follow through with what she's coming up, the ideas
Yeah.
and stuff. That's how it works. And I appreciate, man. I'm not lying. I found myself these past couple of days appreciating the little simple things. You know, how many times do we take granted for breathing?
Oh yeah.
You know, just to be able to breathe. Um, I was thanking God that I'm not in some people's situations. Like we all been hearing about P. Diddy. And then the different ones that was exposed with him. It's deep. That's why
It's
he's in
deep.
jail, because he had the prince of the one who got in trouble being with Epstein. Prince Charles, I think his name is.
Yeah, yeah.
Him at parties, right?
I started hearing about that stuff, man, and I was like, thank God I am not in his shoes.
You feel me? You can't
And
even get there. They gave
now
him.
he's now
They,
he's locked up in the world's most notorious violent prison.
yeah, but wait a minute. His lawyer, in California, I've seen where a person to murder somebody and they get a $2 million bail. His people offered $50 million bail and they denied it.
Right.
That means
Bro.
for 50 million, I think I could bust him out of there. I'm gonna get you out, bro.
Yeah, 50 billion.
I'm
I'm gonna
coming
get
with
you out.
we're gonna come like the S1W from Public Enemy when they bust him. with 50 million. So I think, I thank God for us just the little things, right?
Yeah.
I want to show this video, and I know everybody knows Kanye West. Now I've never seen Kanye West get called up in jail. So it was some stuff that he said that made people mad, but he never been caught up in no scandal for sex trafficking and this type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I want to show this right
Nothing
quick.
in life is promised except death. If you have the opportunity to play this game of life, you need to appreciate every moment. A lot of people don't appreciate their moment until it's past.
That's real talk, man.
That's real. That's real.
That's real talk. See, I was teasing with Richie King this morning, right? Because over the years, every time we do a comedy show in Cameron, the people of Cameron doesn't really come out support him. They rather go up into the city and stuff than to be in their own backyards, right?
Right.
And I told him, I said, you'll become real famous once you die. Then everybody in Cameron's gonna put a memorial and everything like that. Which was telling them, you need to appreciate that person now, then wait till it's passing. You feel me?
Yeah.
We used to call it giving a person their flowers while they living, right? And so
Yeah, because the man receives his first set of flowers at his funeral.
you feel me?
Yeah.
And why? When we appreciate, do I appreciate the time I'm in? Some people say I was listening to some magas and they was talking about back in the 50s, and no way our society is based on the 50s no more.
No.
We have technology. I remember when I was a kid and ain't in the 50s, this is the late 70s as a baby. And one of our family members from out of town sends a letter saying that they're gonna call at 6:00 on the evening on this particular Sunday. So we sat around the phone waiting for them to call in, and then everybody sharing the receiver. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Or somebody get on the other phone in the other room and we're all talking. Where nowadays we're on cell phones. We talking through the computer right now.
Yep.
And you in Oregon. Right now at this moment, I'm in Kansas City, Kansas. Sometimes, I go back and forth from Long Beach, Kansas, but look at the communication, right? How in the world do we not appreciate modern technology to try to go backwards, right?
Yeah.
And see, like, who would have thought that social media will play a big part in politics? I think former President Donald Trump was the first president I ever seen who constantly be on Twitter and was putting out stuff, right? Letting it know. Medical. I never seen so many people have medical opinions until the pandemic and Facebook. Every time I looked up, I had a cousin. One of my cousins was when the COVID first came out. They kept talking about it was fake, and they posting stuff on Facebook with this lady sitting in the doctor's smock. You don't know this lady worth nothing. It was so funny that people went away from their own primary caretaker to deal with somebody on Facebook. Well, my cousin kept saying, "Oh, it's not real, until her throat got sore one day in her chest. So she go to the doctor. They said, "Hey, you got COVID," and she was quarantined for 15 days.
Oh wow.
I said, "Is it real?" And now it became real to her, right?
Yeah.
But when I talk about appreciation, like Tuesday, we was talking about one man's trash is another one's treasure. When you look back, even to this point, no matter what you're going through, the negative, whatever, there's no way you was 10 years ago.
Nope.
There's no way you was 3-4 couple of months ago since you and Kaden got married.
Yep.
You a different person. and you got more appreciation. The devil sees your joy, so he got to come and try to kill it. That's what his job is, to come kill, steal, and destroy. Between family members, loved ones, friends, situations like that. But when the demons can't give us breath to breathe. They can't give us optimistic look on how to accomplish something that they give. They want us to give up. Then they win. And the people that uses that's the instrument of these demons, like this district attorney you're dealing with, it's just a demon that popped up. All of a sudden, now all these people in the state of Oregon, because it sounds like what you was getting your checks from is from a corporate entity, right?
It's a state non-for-profit is what it is. It's an insurance company for workers' comp.
Okay, so it's for the state of Oregon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Out of all these people in Oregon and stuff, all of a sudden you're the faceplate. Because have you seen anybody else who's gone through it? Can you reference to somebody and see what did they go through?
Yeah, I can actually. There was a lady this random nice lady that works at the Winco here in Bend. It was kind of crazy because she had overheard me talking on the phone with my mom about this case. And she's like, look, I don't mean to interrupt you. I don't mean to like butt into your business, but my husband and I went through this about 2 years ago in the middle of COVID. And we ended up walking out with $75,000 in our back pocket because they were wrong. We countersued them.
Didn't I just say that?
She said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just said that earlier. Did you can file civil suit? You go through this, then you file civil suit because this, for one, this is stressful.
Yeah.
You can fight stress, but it's still a stressful situation.
It is.
And it's involving you, your fruit. You're thinking, let me tell everyone, Carl Loomis is a responsible dad and a husband. He's a responsible man. Okay, all of a sudden, you get this on you, it causes nothing but stress on a well man's soul. That's one of the quotes of a known philosopher. I forget his name, but he said, these are the times that wears on a well man's soul. So you got to, this is where the anguishment comes. So when it's filed out the end, you, like that lady said, you file a lawsuit. And out of all these people, and now you said it's a charitable people. Well, it's a charity, and they work with people and workman's comp. Sir, what is your saying what he did? Collected something from a charitable donation? Are you over that thing? Only while you file a case is there you got something personally against him or somebody you're affiliated with.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And you know what? In a weird way, we're talking about appreciations and stuff like that.
Yes.
In a weird way, I kind of appreciate that this is going on because it only makes me stronger. It only makes my soul stronger. It only makes my ability to withstand the stress stronger. Yeah. I mean, so in a way, I kind of appreciate this as well because it's also opening my eyes to how broken the judicial system here is in Oregon. Yeah. To how broken, Oregon's safe system is broken in Oregon. I appreciate it. And I'll tell you this right now, bro, I will never file Oregon workers' comp ever again.
Well, you know what? And the thing is, look here. And I always talk about workman's comp and unemployment insurance. Do you know this money comes collectively from you been working?
Yeah. This comes out of my paycheck.
Yes, I've been working all these years and I need unemployment, and all of a sudden I gotta go through all these whippoorwills for money that I took out. So guess what? I feel, why won't us see? This is one of the things that I say about us American people, and I've been gathering. Some people like, Roy, you should be a politician, because when I do things, I do them so big. Everybody say that I do the things the biggest way. No, I'm just, but one of the things is protecting the general public people, because I don't understand if I've been working for 15, 20 years and I need workman's comp or unemployment, why do I got to wait 3 weeks and go through all this whippoorwill for the money that came out of my account from working? Then guess what? Then I should be able to point down, I don't want to deal with workman's comp. Let me start my own type of insurance. And if something goes wrong, I don't want you to take no money out of my workman's comp, because that's where that government money is. It's supposed to be protecting you too. But you go through so many. I've been suspended for unemployment one time. Let me tell you. So in engineering, when you finish a project, while you waiting to see why you go to the next project, you sometimes have a month or two off. So they tell you to get unemployment and stuff if you haven't saved until you get to the next position. So one time, all right, my job pays me every week, but when you first start the project, you're gonna get paid to your second week because they hold the week. So unemployment, which paid me every 2 weeks. In California, most states they get them paid every week, but in California they pay you every 2 weeks. So when I got hired, I got the last check from unemployment on the week that I didn't get paid from this company. Then I let them know when I got my last check that I started working. I don't need the unemployment check no more, because now the following Friday I'm paid from this company. So I don't have no gaps, right? I got kids. You know what they did? I get a letter stating to me that I got a check a week after I got hired. And I was like, yes, because I wasn't getting paid for 2 weeks. You know what? They fined me $1,500. And I was like, they told me either you pay the $1,500 or when you file again, you got to wait 2 months. You got to wait 2 months before you get some funds, right? So I was like, how in the world, as an employee of a company and I getting paid, and you're telling me I can't get my money and I got to go through hoops for 2 or 3 weeks? Carl is talking to Caitlin. Hey, Caitlin, she on there, show face. What's up, Caitlin?
Oh, no, she's at work. I was talking to her mom. Her mom was asking me what was up. I was sitting in the truck, so sorry about that.
Oh, no problem. She's like, what you saying up there? I hope he's not feeling bad. Come inside, boy, and get you some of these grits and corn.
Yeah. God, I haven't had grits in years, brother. But no, and that's crazy, because I'm kind of going through the same thing with Oregon unemployment right now, because with this whole court case, I lost my job and everything else. Well, I filed for them, and they told me that they gave me an overpayment, and now I'm penalized for 3 weeks. I have to claim 3 weeks with no payment.
Yeah, and this is the thing. So this is what I'm talking about. Why we as workers, like one of my biggest push, if I was a politician running for this presidency, one of the things is I would end people who makes under $100,000 do not have to pay income taxes. This don't make no sense, because they take this money that's supposed to be a safeguard of you, but then when you need it, you're going through all this whippoorwill.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not working no more? Why didn't for real? If I was working, I never called you. Yep. And so now you controlling my money in every state. What you're talking about with Oregon, everybody goes through these in these different states. If you're not, that's why I feel that all U.S. citizens making under $100,000 should not have to pay taxes, especially if they're talking about income insurance and stuff like that. You're taking money from Social Security for us to be when we get to a retirement age, and they pay you 1/3 of what you've been making your whole career. And I can't depend on it. That system is broke. That system is unemployment, Social Security, injured while work. Look here, I paid insurance for a job. I was paying $500 coming out my check every 2 weeks, $500, right? So when I leave the company for a year, I've been with them a year or so, paying over $1,000 a month. I said, where's my insurance policy? They said, you know what I was doing and I'm gonna let everybody in America know. If you're working for a company and the insurance, the company says they got you under their insurance, you're doing nothing but paying the deductible for their policy.
Mhm.
When you leave, the money that you did was nothing but help them back, and they do not compensate you back the money you paid because you wasn't hurt.
Yep.
You will help that company with their own insurance. You know how I know? Last my LLC. I'm fully full working for myself. I filed my taxes for the company, so they've been offering me this insurance. And they said, so when you get your employees will pay for insurance that covers your insurance policy. So what companies are doing is making their employees pay for the insurance policy that they got to have anyway because they're supposed to cover you. A lot of people don't know is that the employer is supposed to pay your insurance, not you having an insurance thing in a package.
Right. And I can relate to that too. When I went on injury for Capstone Solutions,
Yes.
when I went on injury January 21st of 21 and did not come back for an entire year, they continued to pay my insurance premium, almost $5,000. They wanted me to pay them back when I quit.
You see what I'm saying? See, that's their policy.
That's their
See,
policy.
American people, I always tell people, when you do an agreement to work somewhere, it is a mutual agreement, meaning that they will give you this amount of money for you to do this type of work in these amount of hours in the time frame.
Right.
A lot of people build that they don't have no say so on a 50-50 agreeable contract. And one of the things that the American people are hoodwinked about is that the money's coming out of our paychecks for this FICA, all this. You don't get a choice to take care of this. That's why I said all Americans that are making under 100,000 should not have to pay taxes no more. Don't worry about my SSI. I can save that my own self. Because you give me enough just to survive and have a halfway Christmas. But if I was to make everything that I'm entitled without any taxes, I think I'll live a little bit better.
Yeah, more than likely we would.
Because let me tell you something.
Guaranteed we would.
Yeah, the state is offering grants. And guess where they got the grant money from?
The taxes.
Well, not just taxes. Cannabis is not federally regulated. So each state that is legal with cannabis sets their own rules, and they change their rules overnight because there's no federal regulation.
Right.
Oregon is legal. Washington is legal. Do you know how much money they make from that?
I know how much money they make because I had my ex about, I want to say, about 8 or 9 years ago. His aunt actually owned 2 grow ups for the cannabis, and I actually had to escort her tax money that she had to pay at the time I had to escort it to the state capitol. I legitimately had a handcuff and a briefcase full of cash. I'm not joking.
I believe you. And guess what? Look, in Long Beach, for you to even get a dispensary, you had to pay a non-refundable application fee. Guess how much that mug was?
Well, it's expensive.
$25,000. Now, do you and I have $25,000 to say, well, we guess we don't get it?
Yeah.
Hey, Carl.
I ain't got $25,000 in the bank.
I'll be like, hey, Carl, we got the $25,000. They disapproved us. And so,
hell no.
And so, guess what? It was supposed to be for us. The state of California made in 2018 when it went across the ballot to help those low-income people. And guess what? The loopholes is for rich people. When Shaquille O'Neal's wife said that they were starting up a cannabis business and she was teaching her family and stuff like that, okay, they already millionaires.
Oh, duh. That's like chump change to them.
So guess what? So the policy. So my thing is, when we really talking to the general public people, who your business said cheap viewers on some site 6-7M. I don't know what that means.
Huh.
So probably shouldn't have showed it, probably give us some stuff, but welcome anyway, halar, whatever bees are. One of the things though is that the general, what I've seen from our presidential, and I don't care about if who's black, white, male, or female, whatever. I constantly think what Pope John Paul said, you got to pick up the less evils. But one of the things I don't see is to help for general public people. I heard Vice President Kamala Harris say, "Oh yeah, everybody who don't have a house, we're gonna give them a $25,000 grant." Let me tell you something. Bank of America is already doing that in the state of California. You know why? California has grants, all because of cannabis. Look here, it took them a year to wonder how to deal with all this money they was getting from cannabis taxes. Missouri made $1.5 billion in 1 year in cannabis business. It should not be a homeless person. It shouldn't be nobody who's hungry and none of that. Now, you want to come after me, prosecutor of Oregon, for something what you think I supposed to took? $100 million? Wait a minute. Let me hold up. It's $100,000. No, wait, 10,000. Less?
It was he's when they slap you with that charge, it's anything 10,000 above 10,000.
But
so
you ain't received no $50,000. It's not. So
I looked through the payment ledger, dude, and it's not even worth the charge. The charge is 10,000 and above, which is stupid, but it's not even that. Like, I've looked through the payment ledger and I know how much I've been paid on every check.
That's my point. Look, prosecuting attorney of Oregon, whatever, this is petty. You're using taxpayer money chasing something petty. This is the part I'm talking about. You know how many other Americans go through this? We up here surviving. Then we thinking that, oh, let me vote for this person, that person is going to make it different. The people who doing this to you is MAGAs. Let's say it like that. Okay. I want to know anybody who's watching this. You tell me, are you tired of petty situations that you got to face, and then you got to go into a court and deal with cats who ain't even, whose pay level is way up? Why would you prosecute this man, sir, and it's under 10,000, and you know he didn't take no $50,000 money from you, and he's staying at his family's house, but you living in a nice big old house by the mayor and stuff and picking on the little people? And this is the thing that really irks me and stuff when we're sitting up here. Okay, I've noticed a lot of sometimes we put our attention on these wealthy people. Who's dating who? I'm like, I was trying to read through some news, and all of a sudden, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez is getting divorced. I don't care about that, bruh. Why do I need to read this or pop up on my stuff?
It just shows who can twist what, dude. That's what it shows.
We public people, the general people, I feel we really need to step up. We know the Constitution, but yet we don't follow through. Yep. I can't understand if the government fails us, we the people can start anew. I just seen the senator, that the Republican senator that's always going after former President Donald Trump, saying that they would think about opening up a new political party. My thing is, kill this one. Let's have a general vote to start anew. After this election, let's start anew, because none of these cats is going to make it happy for us general public people. If you make under 100,000 in U.S. and you're a U.S. citizen, we should not have to pay taxes.
Right.
And our taxes is still percentage of it still going over there to England. We still paying the Queen. And then we got people who dies before they get their Social Security and stuff. And these greedy politicians is borrowing from that money with no payback dates, but yet they want to diminish that. You feel me? We the ones who suffer. But see, the American people, everybody wants to be a leader. but nobody wants to be the responsible. A leader is a person who takes, if things go wrong, you are responsible for it. When things are going good, it's a team effort. It's shared. That's what I was taught. These leaders, what we call them, these ain't no leaders. These are lawyers and politicians. They
They
ain't
think
caring
they're
about
leaders. They think that they're doing the greater good, but they ain't doing jack diddly spit,
us.
dude.
And guess what? And these will get caught up on words. What I'm saying in Springfield, let me tell you something. If you have angstment against Springfield, Ohio, that means that you're a deep-rooted racist. I'm just being real with you because there's no going about it. I've been digging deeper into it. What I don't like, Carl, is that a lot of them Haitians look like me. But if I don't say nothing, speak, you wouldn't know I'm not Haitian unless you hear my dialect. And when you point at stuff like this, and they point fingers that this person is causing criminality, and these people is calling deaths, and this people is all. Wait a minute, when the dust clear, we look at who has really caused some crimes. P. Diddy, he doesn't speak for the blacks. He caught up under the judicial system. If you did that, well, guess what? You paid the piper. I don't want to hear. I've been hearing so many people, yeah, when you go against the stuff, the grain, they come against you. I don't want to hear that. Because when you did dirt, if you do dirt, you're gonna grow dirt. You grow hate, you bury you sow up hate, you're gonna grow hate. If you want to bury a seed of hate, you're gonna grow hate. What you get, don't blame it on nobody else. If you have a shortcoming in the way you living, it's because that's the way you live. You didn't have a plan. You didn't want to go to work. And so who they come after? The people like us. This prosecuting attorney know good and well this is something just so you can keep something up. Why would you come at this man and you know him? See, because we the citizens have the right, because guess what? It's citizens that voted him in. People don't understand that we the citizens can, that we can do a signage thing to vote, get this person out of office. We renege from our votes. You are foul, dude. You feel me? One of us end up getting killed probably because they try to say, especially if you get some dirt, they're gonna do it like a Steven Seagal movie, Marked for Death. You feel me? I'm just being real. I appreciate everything I have. I appreciate this conversation, Carl.
That's a good conversation.
You're not by yourself. For real. Right now, what you're going through, believe it or not, if you was in the city, you're a light-skinned black dude. Being honest. Because the thing is, it's petty. It was Richard King brought it to my attention. He said, they do, this is what he told me, and I don't like calling people, but he said they do the rednecks like that in his community, because when there's no blacks, they do the rednecks. Why do you take the scourge of the poor people? Like the poor people, the only one doing crimes. and guess what? If you hungry, you have the right to steal you some food.
Yeah.
Because then when you go to jail, they got to feed you.
Well, yeah, they have to.
They have to feed you.
Yep.
But when you are trying to be a paid citizen, I want to know from the prosecuting attorney, if you know this man's profile, you studied his background and everything, why would you pursue a case? I'm telling you, bro, it's because you're a leader. How do you take out a group? You take out the head, which is the leader. Yep. You feel what I'm saying? And they hoping that everybody else fall. Happens in the black community.
And that's the one thing that my attorney told me too. He said if he really looked at you, because I never met my attorney, he actually got just assigned to me through the state of Oregon at the last minute. That's why we pushed out the date 30 days. He looked at me and he goes, I could tell just by your presence, you're not the person that he's trying to paint you up to be.
Yeah.
And that said a lot from him. You know what I mean? Like, that said a lot. And I looked at him, I was like, well, I appreciate you being here. So there's another appreciation. And because it's going to show me the ins and the outs of the law of the Oregon. I'm going to tell you this right now. I told Kaylin the other day, I told my wife, I said, you know what? After all this garbage is out of here, let's get the F out of this state. Let's get
But
out of here.
what, though? It's like this in all the, let me tell you something, bro. When you be a leader, see, one thing we can't do is like, and I'm gonna break it spiritual in these last minutes. We have to do spirit. It's not because of your attack, it's the spiritual connection. Look, we're on the World Wide Web, always announcing who God is. Because he said if you're ashamed of him, he'll be ashamed of us. We make the demon world mad because we on this World Wide Web. And people can go back and look at the show. Let me explain something to you, man. Only why this is going through because God knows that you can control, you can stand it. Everyone in your family, from your in-laws and everything, can say it's so sad that he's going through that. You feel me? That's when you know who loves you. Love is an action. I keep telling people love is a verb. It's not just a pronoun. I mean, it's not just a pro noun or something. It's an action, which is a verb. And that's how you really can tell. And like you said, going through this, that you know who's in your corner. Those who don't know and kind of skeptical falls off to the side. It's like Deion Sanders said, you don't believe. You feel what I'm saying? Looking at you, and a lot of Americans is going through. It's not just your state. It's every other state. But if you and your wife agree to go somewhere else and it's better, hey, I would say y'all come together and do that. But I'm not going to say you're going to get out the skillet into the fire. If y'all come in agreement and that's what you do, you feel me? God's going to bless it. But you have, why do we go through these perks? It's because it's the spiritualness. God, Jesus said, you pick up your cross and follow me. This man was more innocent than anybody in the whole world. He ain't do nothing but what I read on. He told the truth. He healed. He gave hope to those who didn't have no hope. I'm blind. Now I can see. I was lame. Now I can walk. I didn't have no arm. And now I got an arm. For real. They said he lame people. People, a lame mean your arm is missing. All of a sudden you got an arm. But they killed him. Because of jealousy, I want to be in his position. Prosecuting attorney, like, I want to bring people together to ride on the beaches and stuff. Why does he get all of this on him? Hey, he got some stuff. Let's throw a case on him. You know, you pick up your cross, you have to follow him. Because that means we're going to go through some stuff and we're innocent. And the judicial system is broke because they say you're innocent until you're proven guilty. But not in today's system. This judicial system tells us we're guilty and we got to prove that we're innocent. And that's for real. And I want Carl to know, and anybody else who's going through this, who listen to this, as long as you've been doing right, you're going to get these pressures. You're going to get persecutions. It can be family, and it comes out the blue. So this is 2024. They bringing something on him from 2021. Now, they didn't say nothing when he got his check in January or February, all the way through this September. To my understanding, you said 10 months. You got checks. But now, 4 years later, and guess what? We pray for the prosecuting attorney. He doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Pray for his family. I pray for everybody and the judge and all that. But it's going to come in your favor. And what looks grim is when you can go and say, hey, now put a suit on him, a civil suit against the city and state of Oregon to putting you in this. A person gets hurt and watch. You see what I'm saying? It's going to come out. And so, but I'm grateful to God that we can come together. They can watch this thing and see their innocence. And we don't use this podcast to submit it to the prosecuting attorney. And so you think they can't find where you appear on the social media? They know you on this show.
Yep.
You feel me?
And that's the thing, dude.
On the show is why they probably did it. Like, oh, you messed with that. And Big Hank too. Two of the most relatives. You feel me? Because God had, and you said, you glad I'm going through this? Because you looking strong. You don't look like you're getting weak. You look like you're getting stronger. You
I'm trying.
You didn't. You was there. Some people won't even go to court. That's why they get
Yeah.
bail warrants. Seeing you guilty. You right there went through the rigmarole. They seeing your character. They had to question themselves and say, y'all sure that this man, we need to look through this right. Y'all sure that he did this? How can they just come at you? Where's the doctor? Where's the people from SAFE? Where are y'all at?
Yeah, and the one thing about it is too is that the caseworker that I had at the time, she no longer works there.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. So
If
like,
that don't sound like a conspiracy, everybody's on the case to disappear.
yeah, and they like, oh well, we don't have anybody, or her cases got audited. Who knows?
Is the organization still existing?
Say again.
Do the organization still exist?
Oh yeah, they'll forever be in.
Well, they know where's every, even if the lady don't work there, you know your paperwork, man.
Yeah, I
You
got all
know
my
what's going
paperwork.
on.
I
Somebody
have
done,
all. I have it all in the email, and I have it all in a box.
somebody done messed up royally. You know that.
Yeah, I'd love to know how they think that they can get me on falsifying medical documentation when I don't see the medical documentation.
And look here, and that's the part. That's the part. Or like you supposed to have took your name because doctors write in Italian. They write in Italian and stuff so that that's when they give prescription. They
Yeah.
write in Latin. To my understanding, they write in Latin. You got to know Latin to be able to do some of the stuff that the doctor writes in.
Yep.
You use your right name. It's still your name. They found you because you use your name, your social security number. Your company that you was with, didn't they say you did get hurt?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out the correlation. What, you wasn't hurt for 4 months? You wasn't hurt for a year?
I mean, when I got out of that company because my supervisor at the time, the only thing that they had for me to do was to sit at a desk for 8 hours a day and learn how to type on a
Mm,
laptop. They had a program for that. They wouldn't let me go into the shop. They wouldn't let me
mm.
do this. They wouldn't let me do that. And the only reason why I left is because I legitimately had John Gebhardt, and I'll call him out any day of the week because he's a what do you call it? He was a bully of the government. Well, if you're not liberal, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And if you don't vote for this guy, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that to you. And I'm going to make things really
Oh,
hard
mini
for you.
dictator. Yeah, mini dictator.
A mini dictator.
Yeah.
And I've even texted him, just recently, be like, hey, man, can you give me the opportunity to get the dates of employment through Capstone? And he was like, oh, well, you need to contact them. And who are you voting for this year? I'm like, that's none of your business. And then he blocked my phone because I tried to text him back, so he's one of those.
See, it's gung ho cats like that. And I can't, ooh, that's something we're going to
A
gotta have
political bully is what I called him.
yeah. I call a person who because I can't stand when they say you're not American if you don't do this, you
Yep.
or all that stuff. Man, let me tell you something. Your conversation is short because I tell anybody if it deals with my political beliefs to deal with you, then we don't have nothing to talk about ever.
That's
Don't
right.
talk to me about sports or nothing because I'm gonna get on your nerves because I'm a professional mouthpiece and I'm definitely gonna say something. Stop letting politics come in the way and try to unite with each other than to be trying to, oh, you this or you that. Dude, I would say, look at you, you this or you that.
Yeah.
With a small wee now. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. Hey man,
That's another conversation for another.
That's what I'm saying. Be like, hey, I like when Leslie Nielsen they be like, surely you're not gonna do that. And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, and don't call me Shirley.
Oh,
All right,
freaking
man, last
that
word before we get out of here, bro.
last words.
Yeah. American
Just
preacher.
remember that God is real. He's up there. He's listening, even when you don't think he's listening. Be good to each other. Be good to yourself. Pray for this nation and the things that are going on, and pray for everything to come to a head and not have a violent outcome like it
Yep.
has before in the past.
Yep.
Like I said, be good to yourself. and that means nurture your own beliefs, and don't have a confrontation when someone doesn't believe the same thing you do. Have a conversation as to why.
Yeah. Never a confrontation, just a conversation.
That's right.
And if a person don't agree with what you said, you don't have to stand there and be. The word of God tells, Jesus told his disciples, they don't want to hear you, tap the dust off your feet and keep it moving. Don't throw your pearls to the swines. Not saying any person is a pig, or if they can't hear what you got to say, and they want to put what you got to say, you got the right to disband yourself away from them. Hey, I'm gonna counter what Carl said. Not only do God hears you, but he sees everything you did. Nothing is done in the dark, except for my own eyesight. God see everything you're doing. Don't get caught up in religious fanatics. Just have a spiritual relationship with God, and he'll guide you where you need to go for real. If you're in trouble, he's there. He sees it. And the thing is, what Carl's going through is he's checking your integrity and stuff. And not one time have you swayed. It's irking, but that truth is in all your paperwork and everything that you do. And you know what? I want to give a middle finger out to the guy who asked him what his language was and stuff. Hey, dude, you are not cool at all. And Roy Anthony is saying that you are not cool. Seek God, bro, and repent. And so, hey, man, Carl, love you, Brian.
Hey, love you too, man.
Tell the family and stuff. I love them. Tell your God, your parents-in-laws that I really appreciate them, what they're doing for you and Caitlin and the kids, and that that you are a cool person. Well, they know too. They accept you and your family. Look what Richard King gonna say. Your hat sucks. Laugh out loud. The old Chiefs Kingdom. I'm gonna talk about them next week because they sure give.
Hey, do you want to? I'll tell you this right now. To be honest with you, I'm always an underdog fan. So go Raiders.
Thank you, bro. Well, in a way, thank you. And like, but thank you.
I've always been a fan of them. Hopefully they kick some ass this year, but
yeah. But you know what? I tease the Chiefs fans because before I get off of here, the Chiefs fans didn't have nothing to say until Karl Malone. Patrick Mahomes. Look here, bro. Before him, they had Alex Smith and everybody else, right? They didn't. I would come here and tease about that. They would tell you to go to the Arrowhead if there's a tornado or something because there's never a touchdown. Then Moses come. You know who Moses is? He came to the Kansas City Chiefs in the form of Patrick Mahomes and said, "Let my people go." Now they feel like they're a dynasty, like they've been here for years. You feel me?
Oh yeah,
right. And I something's wrong with Kelsey. Because Kelsey's been swifting it too much. He got 4 catches for 30 yards in 3 games. Yeah, okay, the Swifties catches up and stuff. But anyway, man, love y'all, man. We always praying with you, Carl. And I know you're praying, bro. We got you, bro. And
appreciate you, bro.
And if it ever come down to trial, and I'm always saying I'm coming out. Don't let me have to come down to the trial, but then I don't want to get you in trouble because I'll be like, yeah, man. Oh, be like, Roy. Hey, man. All right, man. Y'all be cool, man. God bless you, Carl. You have a wonderful weekend, bro.
You do the same, brother. We'll talk again.
All right, for sure. Love you, man. All right, Richard King, I see you.
Welcome to the Roy Anthony every Tuesday and every Thursday. Y'all tap in.
Is this thing on? Can you hear me?